A band limited signal of finite energy which has frequency component higher than omega hertz is completely described by specifying the value of the signal at an instant of time separated by 1 by 2 omega second. This is the first statement. இதுக்கு ஒரு diagram இருக்கு. It says on the left top it is low frequency component, right வந்து higher frequency component, கீழே வந்து frequency ன்னு போட்டிருக்கு. ஒரு triangle is limited from minus omega to omega, so the total frequency is 2 omega. One sec, வெயில் அடிக்குதா? Now next is the second statement. A band limited signal of finite energy which has its frequency component higher than omega hertz may be completely recovered from the knowledge of its samples taken at the rate of 2 omega samples per second. So next is the derivation of statement 1. Step 1 is to define omega del t, x of x del of t, which is the representation. Step 2 is the Fourier transformation x del of t into x del of f. Then the third is the relationship between x del of f and x of f. The final step is relationship between x of t and x of nts. This is the diagram. In the first step, this is how your input looks like. And the input is the continuous time analog signal. Then you multiply it with the impulse, which is the quantization and encoding part. And this is how your discrete time signal will look like. So this is the discrete time digital signal. This is the equation. X del of t is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of t del of t minus nts. The next is the Fourier transform. That is the second step in this derivation. X del of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of f fs del of f minus nfs. So what they are doing is they are taking out the f of s from the summation. This is the second step. And what next is this. Now because of the shifting property of impulse signal, this is how you'll write that statement. This is how x del of f is equal to fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity capital X of f minus nfs. Now in the third step, this is how it will write. Impulses sampling rate into sampling rate. So for the continuous signal, this is how you write. See, this is how it is. Now in the fourth step, that is the relationship part. X of omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j of n. So this omega, j omega of n, j omega n, omega can be written by 2 pi f. So where was I? Next is x of f, that is you convert omega into f, that is given by summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j 2 pi f n, because you substitute the value of omega as this. Next is while you replace while you replace x of f by x del of f, then f becomes the frequency of the continuous signal. That is from digital you have converted into continuous. Now the next part is x del of f is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity e power minus j 2 pi fn by fs. To convert the continuous frequency to discrete frequency, you multiply it by this factor of fs. Then the next step is f of s is equal to 1 by ts. That's how you represent frequency and time together. So we use this and we write xs of f is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x nts e power minus j 2 pi f. Instead of this thing, we have written t of s into n. Now the next part becomes you replace this xs of f in xf with this step number 3. So what was the step number 3? This is step number 3, right? So now we'll replace. What happens here is you write x of f is equal to 1 by f of summation 1 by f into summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x nts e power minus j 2 pi fs tn. Okay, the next is now we apply the inverse Fourier transformation and this is what we get. So x of t is equal to I of t of this function. You write that as such. Now here x of t is represented as is completely represented as x of nts, and this statement of sampling theorem is thus completed.